Welcome aboard, kid. Hello, W.A.K and listeners of the far reaches of the galaxy. This is the W.A.K cast, the wackest podcast on Earth's internet, and I am one of your three hosts, Super Symbiote.
I'm Naboo, that's who.
And I'm Fluff McGruff.
And something rather special happened the other day that happens just once a year, and it's not some Duke holiday. I'm talking about the Star Wars celebration. So yes, buckle up. We're going to be doing another Star Wars
fun
episode.
begins.
We're big fans here at the Wackcast.
Star Wars.
And while there were a lot of things announced, from comic books to cartoons to, yes, even video games, we're going to dive into one specific one for right now. And that would be the long anticipated sequel to what I think may have been one of the best Star Wars games ever made. And the game we're talking about is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So yes, we finally have the title, which leaked a couple days ahead of the celebration, but now we actually have first footage, whether it be cinematic. It's still pretty good. I'm pretty excited for it. We don't know a whole lot yet based on the visuals. There's not even a lot of confirmed theories out there, so we don't even really know what we're looking at. Besides that, Cal Kestis, as we know from the first game, Jedi Fallen Order, is now 5 years further into his journey as a Jedi. His skills will expand. He will get deeper into his connection of the Force, and it seems by this trailer he may have made a new ally. So, don't necessarily know who this guy is, but a lot of people on the internet thinks he looks heavily like Sephiroth, which I don't see why you would come to that assumption. While the likelihood of that happening is slim, I will say he does have the features of Sephiroth.
Well, I guess I'll just go ahead and break into the theory section. Clearly, this isn't actually a sequel to Fallen Order. It's the Star Wars world that's gonna be in Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah,
That's
this is
what
the
they're
bridge
showing.
to
That's
Kingdom Hearts 4.
This is actually there is no Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's just a very well thought out trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah, it's all just a hoax. So this whole
Which is
episode
sick,
is fake.
Yeah. They're actually
bullcrap.
They're gonna reveal that Kingdom Hearts 4 has been happening all around us. We are in the game currently.
Right now, we're inside a computer program.
Yeah, we are Sora, as you can see.
Within the darkness.
But moving on with the actual talk of this game, by the looks of things, Cal is still facing the Inquisitors, still running from the Empire. Whether or not we will see a lot of new Inquisitors, don't know. But I mean, there were a couple in the first game, so I imagine there'll be a couple more in this one. So yeah, the developers have also said a little bit about this game. They said that they want to kind of expand on the combat a little more, go a little bit more into depth of his Force abilities. He's going to still have the kind of journey that we played in the first one, where he'll have to rekindle the strongest connections to some Force abilities. But I imagine they're going to change it so we don't have to do the whole flashback shit again, because that just took a whole lot of time.
I did. See, my thing though is the combat was good. What I really wanted them to expand on was the exploration. I want to know if we're going to be going to more planets, or if we're going to get that kind of streamlined story kind of situation again.
And honestly, I need more ponchos.
Oh my god,
more ponchos.
So honestly,
hopefully there's more worlds so that they can put more ponchos on those worlds.
Yeah, I think I could honestly do without the whole easy customization thing. I see a lot of people on the internet are saying they want something a little bit more in depth. They want to be able to actually customize him, instead of just looking for brightly colored ponchos that don't do any armor or special ability purposes.
Yeah, I guess I would like to see them bring in more of those RPG elements, where it's you're kind of speccing them a little bit more, and you got to look at your equipment, not necessarily just your skill tree. you know?
Yeah.
And then, of course, more exploration. I would like to see more Star Wars worlds in this game, maybe some old ones, maybe some ones that might be linked to a TV show or something of that nature.
Yeah, maybe a specific TV show that is currently early on in its first season for me, I think, but we've done a whole episode on Obi-Wan already, so
We have.
there you go. Expanding a little bit on that whole combat thing, I'm going to post a picture of it now, but as you could see in the trailer, I'm going to take that L.
You lose. Good day, sir.
So kind of expanding on that whole thing, as you can see from a picture I'm going to post on the screen now, they definitely have changed his lightsaber. I don't know if you remember in the first one there, it could like separate into two, but now it looks like there's an actual pommel there. So it's just now strictly a single blade lightsaber. And I think that is going to maybe mess with the combat a little bit because it heavily relied on the double blade and whatnot in the first one.
Well, it gave you the choice,
Yeah.
but the double blade was really fun.
Yeah, well, that was also like kind of like I feel like there were some Metroidvania aspects that like the double blade kind of went into, especially because like you could get a double blade, but then like you didn't get the ability to separate those two for the longest time.
Oh yeah, to like the end,
because there was like I guess obstacles that you needed that to clear. So I get why they did it. I guess I'm like you said, they're gonna be expanding on his force powers and stuff. So I am kind of excited to see where they take that because I feel like they're going to keep some of those Metroidvania aspects. I just feel like they're going to play more into the force powers as opposed to the lightsabers and the tools that he has access to.
Yeah, that would be really neat, especially if they like honed it more toward how like Starkillers were, where when you like enabled the force grip, you could just move them around with the stick and kind of just control the enemy, as opposed to like if you pulled, the stormtrooper toward you, you could kind of only do one thing from there. You could just hit a button and stab him. That was it.
Yeah.
But me being a douchebag playing the old Force Unleashed, I like to grab them and just bash them on the ground and whatnot because it was funny,
Well, at least in Fallen Order, you could still force push them off a cliff, and that's always funny.
Yeah, that's one of the best you've got, and the Force Freeze is super cool. But that's really like my two favorites from that.
But I do also wonder if with the enhanced like force powers and possibly enhanced combat system, I wonder if they're gonna make the game slightly harder too, because it was kind of like baby's first Dark Souls in the gameplay style, but it really wasn't that hard.
It was aggravating.
Up that.
It was definitely aggravating.
It's just some enemies were aggravating, but for the most part, it was just cannon fodder.
Yeah.
I really like
even though like bounty hunters weren't that bad.
Yeah, if they caught you off guard, it could screw up the whole match for you. But if you had a good read on them, there were a couple that would be a little too quick. I'd have to try a couple times and really get a feel for it. But so more stuff like that, that would definitely be cool. But mentioning some things that we may have to fight, it's being speculated that Darth Vader could return and maybe play a bigger role in this one than in before, now that he has met Cal and knows essentially what Cal's goal was in the last time they met, which was to restore the Jedi Order, which that is no longer his goal, but Vader doesn't know that. So that could be a horrible thing. And based off of that little clip, people are saying that the guy in the hood that Cal is fighting in the hallway could maybe be the Grand Inquisitor, who is finally coming in to finish the job himself, or they could be introducing a whole new Sith character to go along with this new Jedi storyline. So, I mean, I'm down with either one, honestly. I think a new Sith would be cool because we're going to get into a little bit of theory zone with that new Sith here in just a minute. But the Grand Inquisitor also would be pretty sick, which there's some theory about that too, but we do have a confirmed answer on that. So
word. I do want them to go a little bit more into lore too. I feel like. Just because I mean, it's very rare that we get a Star Wars game that's good.
That's fair.
I feel like not taking this opportunity to just kind of go in to some of the free creative lore that Star Wars just offers people in the content would be whack.
Whack. Yeah.
Don't end up on a fluff fumble.
Yeah, please God, don't make this game suck. But
I mean, EA is involved, so
yeah,
I know Respawn's behind it too, but I mean EA has destroyed greater companies.
Yeah, for sure. But what we do know, the last little bit of information we do have confirmed, as in the trailer, that this game is coming 2023. And the developers have went ahead and confirmed that this game will release exclusively on next gen consoles. So you're looking at a PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and a PC exclusive release. So if you do not have these consoles by 2023, you're definitely missing out on this one.
Yeah, because honestly, I feel like that's just something you're gonna have to get used to everybody saying is, and this one is also gonna be next gen exclusive, and this one, because it's happening already, and
the Switch is
like
happening.
The
they
PS4
want
time
to
is coming.
They want to push as many people as they can so they can stop manufacturing the old shit and just move on. And I mean, it's understandable. But with that rough start to the release, I mean, you know, there's people out there hurting still, like moi. We you know, the opportunity just hasn't arisen.
It's still hard to find them, man.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, and it's been about like a year and a half, 2 years, and you're starting to see Xboxes become more popular than PlayStation now because they can't manufacture. Yeah, they're there, they're available, and they, like, kudos to Xbox because they are a good system. I'm not gonna say they're not a good system.
Yeah.
And it's just it's wild that, you know, Xbox and Microsoft had it figured out, but Sony, who just built up so hard to this PS5 release, just slipped and fell down them steps. And it kind of sucks. So yeah, look for this game 2023 with the news segment going though. Oh, with the news segment gone, excuse me. We are going to move on to a little bit more entertaining part of this podcast, which is going to be the conspiracy theory section.
Theory.
Yeah.
Conspiracies.
The theory section. So with these, I have come up. So with these,
sound effects, don't worry.
Yeah, there you go. We'll fix that. So with these conspiracies, I found 4 online, and I've come up with 2 myself. So essentially, we're going to go over these theories one by one, and then we are going to discuss our thoughts on if these could be fact or fluff fumble. So
fact or fumble.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right. So starting off the conspiracy section, we're going to go into the first one, which actually does have a confirmed answer to it. I will say it's a little bit of a burst of a bubble.
Doesn't that mean it's not a theory?
Yeah, it's just something I wanted to bring up because people are talking about it still. So the guy in the trailer who is talking, the
old man,
he is not the Grand Inquisitor. People for some reason think that is who that was supposed to be. That is someone of his race. However, the developers have said it is not him. What they have confirmed as well is that the place he's on is Coruscant. So for those of you who know Coruscant, which was the home of the Jedi Council before Order 66, he is there, which means we may be taking a trip to Coruscant 10 years after the Jedi Massacre.
That'd be cool.
So that's going to be pretty wild. But actually, he is directly involved with the first actual theory in all of this, and that would be that the Sith that Cal is fighting could be a recanonized Starkiller. which for those of you who don't know, Starkiller was Darth Vader's apprentice in The Force Unleashed and was recently denied its home of canon existence in the Star Wars lore. So
I'm telling you, man, it's just because they made him so
it is simply
strong.
because Starkiller became to a point at the end of the second game, he was able to literally smite Darth Vader for stepping to him and his friends. So
like the dude literally pulled a Star Destroyer out of the sky.
Yeah,
like,
crashed it into a city. A whole Star Cruiser just
if
crashed.
he were alive, the past 6 movies would never have happened.
Yeah, so this could be a good old Dragon Ball Z type series here where they're going to take somebody like Broly and they're going to reinvent him to the story and the fans are going to accept, but they could do it in the form of Starkiller, who it appears would still be a Sith, would still technically be a underling of Darth Vader. He just would not be Darth Vader's direct apprentice like he used to be.
I would be pretty cool with that. That sounds sick.
Yeah, so that is
and you said that was kind of confirmed?
No, that is a direct theory. People
I'm not
are straight up
that.
Yeah, they're just guessing. Like this could be Starkiller because we don't have a face on him yet, and they're hiding it for a reason. So whether or not that's true, you don't know. But it could be the Grand Inquisitor who has just come to clean it up himself.
It could be Darth Jar Jar.
It could be a Dark Lord Jar Jar Binks who is actually above the Emperor and has just come to shut this shit down once and for all. He's had enough.
Yusa fucked up, okay?
Yeah, Yusa in big doo-doo now. The Sith Lord is here. It's just like
You so weak, Annie.
You so weak, Annie.
So weak, Annie.
You so no Vader.
You said know that my power.
Wait, no, it's Cal Kestis, remember?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, but that would be like Jar Jar just smiting Darth Vader for not killing Cal Kestis.
Watch it be Lip.
Yeah, well, it's just because it'll be a shameless reunion. Yeah. It's just Lip Gallagher is the Sith.
It'll be Lip Gallagher as the Sith Lord, and then Ian is Cal.
Blue bro. Oh man, they bring the whole shameless cast into this game. That'd be fantastic.
And Darth Frank.
They'd have the market Darth Frank. Oh my god. But that's gonna go directly into another conspiracy.
Is Darth Frank real?
Yeah, Darth Frank is a part. Nah.
That's like Ultra Instinct
terrifying.
Shaggy.
The guy that Cal Kestis has found in the trailer is the one being referred to as the Jedi Survivor in the title. So he could be an even bigger part of the Jedi Order that was sealed away for whatever reason. And now Cal is going to essentially awaken this person who we've never seen before. He's just a new character. He's a Jedi survivor from back in the day.
Yo, what if it's a Darth Revan situation and that Jedi survivor is the Sith?
Now, here's the thing that comes with that. There's also theories that because of his long hair and tattoos, he is from the High Republic era, which was a couple decades before what we know. So he could be in that back to tank as like a fountain of youth, keeping him alive all of this time with the Force.
A couple centuries before.
Yeah. He could be extremely old and a key to all of this. But I will say what Justin just brought up. I've watched that trailer like 20, maybe 30 freaking times already. And there's one good close up where they clash lightsabers. That dude that Cal is fighting does somewhat move and have the body shape of Darth Revan. Like what he looked like in the video games in, Knights of the Old Republic. That's kind of how this dude looks, but I don't want to say like, oh yeah, for sure. Because another thing, if this game is canon and so is the sequel trilogy, I'm wondering if this could also be like a young Kylo Ren before he gets the crazy lightsaber and because originally their whole thing was you bleed the lightsaber red, And when we saw Kylo's lightsaber in the sequels, it didn't have the weird little thingies on them when he was a Jedi. He added those after he became a Sith. So it could be a way to tie this further into that story. But I think the timing is off. I haven't actually done deep research into it.
I don't know.
But that's the best thing, is you just don't know who this guy is.
Right. And then there's another thing is, I mean, I feel like there's two things that tank could be. It could be a bantha tank.
Yeah.
Which, you know, most Star Wars fans know is what you put someone in to heal if they've suffered like egregious wounds or anything like that. But that could also be a cloning tank. And that could be a clone of somebody.
It could,
such as a clone of Darth Revan.
Could definitely be a clone.
Potentially.
That would be really cool, actually, because I feel like with the sequel trilogy, I think in Rise of Skywalker, there was direct confirmation that he existed.
Yeah.
Because the Emperor named the Red Sith soldiers, one of them was the Revan division. And there was a statue of Revan in that temple at the very end. So he's canon. So whether or not, you know, they're going to just throw him. Well, there's also the remaster of Coder coming out too. So you're going to get your taste of Revan. I don't know if they would oversaturate the market with him now, because fans like him, so they just force him into everything.
Well, technically, Darth Revan was only involved in the first game, I think.
Yeah.
And the one that they're releasing is the second one.
No, but they're remastering the first one too.
Yeah.
It was already remastered.
I don't think it's out yet.
They're like, there's, I think, I don't think it's out
yet.
It
is coming soon, and then they just announced that the second one is coming.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, word. But yeah, that's gonna just go right into another theory, which this is gonna be one of my personal theories. The Jedi Survivor could be stating that this character that Cal wakes up could be the Jedi Survivor, stating that Cal Kestis may not make it out of this game, which is why he's not mentioned in any other future canon. That would be their way to neglect that. It's to just have him no longer exist after this game and have this person go on to be somebody that we'll see in a cartoon series or something like that.
Damn. Yeah, I wondered.
That would
guess
suck.
2 games could maybe.
Well, they could continue the series just without Cal.
Yeah, I just don't want to see Cal die, you know. I mean, true, I like the actor. But I also just, because we have the physical actor, I want to see that explored in other avenues, and I just don't want to see him die yet.
He has accomplished his goal at that point. I feel like if he wakes this guy up and retrains him a little bit and he's the Jedi Survivor, this could be, you know, the guy that carries on the Jedi legacy. So Cal could just give it all one last time to protect this guy or protect his friends, and that would be the end of Cal Kestis, which would be super sad. I mean, like I said, that's a personal theory. I don't know if anyone else is stating that, but I'll have to.
It would explain why BD1 is no longer with Cal.
And he's on Tatooine. I mean, yeah, it could make sense. There just is no Cal Kestis anymore. Something to think about.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Get in the comments.
A theory that I did see going around. So there was a good bit of cameos in the first game. We had Saw Gerrera from Rogue One. We had a holocron message of Obi-Wan. So with this game taking place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, an Obi-Wan series taking place 10 years after the exact same moment, well, there is potential to see a face-to-face cameo of other Jedis such as Obi-Wan Kenobi in this game during Cal's adventure. I do think that time sync was intentional on Disney's part. because that is extremely just, you could have picked this game up after the events of the first one or 2 years later, but to specifically make it 10 years after Anakin becomes Vader, and that's exactly where Obi-Wan starts. That's pretty spooky. And guess where Obi-Wan is in the first episode? Tatooine. Guess where the BD robot is in Boba Fett? Tatooine. So I think this game could end there. Who knows? Of course, or Cal could just visit Tatooine and tell BD to watch over Obi-Wan now and make sure nothing happens. So we'll just know BD was in the background for the rest of Star Wars lore. That would be cool. But of course, we know by that time that the Boba Fett series takes place, Obi-Wan would not be on Tatooine, so BD would just be left behind, which would be sad.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they'll take that avenue or not, but that's the joy of theories. You can just kind of say whatever you want, and then you can be wrong. That's fine.
I got a theory for you about this game. So I've only ever seen one other Jedi with hair that long. Pretty sure that's Qui-Gon Jinn.
That was my first thought, man.
He's covered in tattoos.
He's a survivor in this game, bro.
It's a tatted Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, it would have to be a tatted and ripped Qui-Gon Jinn.
It's also Liam Neeson.
So I potentially could be, who knows? But we're going to move on to the last theory, which is, again, one of my personal theories out of the two. I think personally, not only will Darth Vader play a bigger role in this game, but maybe the Emperor may have some scenes in this. We may see how his failure in the first game kind of trickled down and got to the Emperor, and the Emperor's not pleased that Vader wasn't able to stop 2 measly Jedis.
I would like that theory to be true, and I'll also back it up by tying it to a different theory that you just stated. That is the only way I think that I would really enjoy watching Cal die, is if they use it to show just how terrifying the Emperor is, because I feel like that's something we don't really get too much. Like, this dude is controlling Darth Vader, and Darth Vader's pretty scary, but like the Emperor's scarier.
And Vader's not the first person he is manipulated that bad. Like, we did get to see some of his power in the sequel trilogy, but of course that was so washed with all the hate and shit. People, kind of just tend to not think of that.
Yeah.
But I feel like with the interaction that video games offer, like just giving us a chance to really show how powerful the Emperor could be.
Yeah. And this is only 10 years after he successfully turned Anakin and slaughtered the Jedis. So he's still young. He's still powerful. I would really like to see him. In the first game, Vader was that imposing shadow. When he came out at the end, Trilla was just, she knew her time had come. It was over. I want to see something like that happen to Vader, where there's a scene where Vader has fucked up after the events of all of what has happened and his lack of finding Cal, and the Emperor is that opposing shadow to Darth Vader. I think that would be a fantastic kind of like dual mentality storytelling, where you would get to see, just how imposing the Empire can be on Vader. I think that would be really cool. Because then he's also got these Inquisitors, so they're going to play a massive role. That's like his hunter squad or whatever. So I don't know. I'm a big Darth Vader fan. I want to see this game like give us a little bit more than in the first one.
I'm sure they will, because it's been 5 years, so like Vader's not that new anymore.
Yeah, the galaxy knows who he is now, so I'm hoping we just get to see a whole bunch of cool Star Wars lore. I mean, this could be the first game where we're just going to lose the main character to something crazy, and we're just going to have to move on in the Star Wars universe. So, I mean, yeah, that could be pretty epic. Pretty excited. So if you think all that stuff is cool, if you have any theories of your own, you can share them with us. I would love to see what people think and the theories you guys come up with. That would be awesome. So that was one of the bigger topics of the night, but a couple more things that was announced at the celebration. Marvel Comics is releasing a Yoda series that will depict more of Yoda's story during the times of the Jedi Council. It doesn't look like they're sticking to the younger Yoda. They're kind of sticking more toward like the Yoda we're used to, but nonetheless, I'm sure that'll be pretty awesome.
Dude, I love Yoda so much.
Yoda's
Honestly,
pretty cool.
I feel like I'm one of the few people that likes Yoda more than Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Grogu.
I mean, Grogu's cool, but Yoda is like the
Yoda's
Jedi
the
master. That's pretty cool. We've also got the Skeleton Crew is another series coming out. Jude Law is involved in this one. We have the Bad Batch season 2. We got some more information on the Ahsoka series,
nice.
Which everybody is patiently waiting for because that should be a lot of fun. But the one that I think got everyone the most hype, aside from this surprise game trailer, was a new Disney Plus animated series called Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. What this series will depict is the younger ages of the Jedi, where Qui-Gon Jinn was young, studying to become the master we know him to be. It has also been confirmed that Jedi Knight Count Dooku will also play a big part of this show. He's got his blue lightsaber and his Jedi robes, and so we're speculated to see young Obi-Wan, all of the people that we have had questions about since Qui-Gon's era of Star Wars.
No, yeah, if I don't get some Ki-Adi-Mundi in that show, I'm gonna be so upset.
Yeah, we're gonna get some big brain Ki-Adi-Mundi, I'm sure. We're gonna see what it was like training with Qui-Gon Jinn in the Jedi Temple. So if there's any Qui-Gon fans, you've got that to look forward to. I'm pretty sure Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are part of this one as well.
Yeah, I would also like to see some development on Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Because he's literally the only canonized Jedi that has a purple lightsaber.
Well, Mandalorian season 3 is slated to come out sometime this year, and they are aware that fans have been asking heavily for some Mace Windu. More than likely, he will be involved in the Boba Fett series since he is a direct enemy of Boba Fett. He's the man that murdered his dad. So it would make sense for them to involve him there more than anything else. But we don't know. There's really no news on a season 2, so we'll just have to ride through that. But yeah, with all of that great stuff being said, that was Star Wars Celebration. We're going to move directly into the symbiotics. We're going to move right on to the symbiotic shoutouts.
The symbiotic shoutouts.
Thank you. So this fabulous week, this month, I guess, since we only get one episode. So this month on Super Symbiotic Shoutout, I want to give a shout out to obviously Obi-Wan season 1 has started. It was really awesome. The first 2 episodes we've got, there's a lot of cool cameos and content. I think the show is off to a fantastic start. There's 4 episodes left, so it's not going to be too long. But with what we were given at the end of episode 2, I think this one's going to ramp up immediately. So Disney Plus has a way with all of their shows get really good at episode 3. Not joking. It happens with every show. It's going to happen with this one. So if you haven't seen it, you got to catch up. It's definitely worth a watch. And if you think it's bad because it's taking place so much longer than when he was Obi-Wan, get over yourself. It's fantastic. He still has the character on lock. It's great. Another thing on the symbiotic shout out, we're big fans here at this podcast. I think, me and Rhett for sure. Stranger Things 4 finally dropped this weekend. I sat down and binged all 7 episodes of part 1. And it is so much more than what you're used to. They leaned heavily into the horror aspect, which I was a big fan of. The scares work, the cinematography is awesome, the direction of this season is great, and of course every single actor just is bringing their A game for this whole entire Stranger Things 4. So if you're a fan, I would say it's probably the best season they've done so far. If you haven't seen the past seasons, you're going to be horribly lost, because when they start explaining stuff, you have to know your Stranger Things logic, because they're going all the way back to season 1 to answer questions you forgot you asked. Like, it's that deep.
Nice.
So
I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely got potential for this second part to just mind-blowing action this whole second part of this season.
That's actually like the selling point for me. So I fucking love when anything gets a question from years ago that people forget about, but then they remember it and then they answer it, and you're like,
yeah.
They
bring it all back. They go back to some of the most pivotal points of season 1 that you had completely forgot about. They replay those scenes and they answer those questions, and it's fantastic. If you have finished Stranger Things 4 Part 1, then you know we have an official release date for Part 2. Which, of course, going into the last episode, I was extremely fearful we were going to have to wait a long time. But fate has it that part 2 releases July 1st of this year. So you have about a little over 1 month to binge watch all of Stranger Things, catch up on season 4 before you get what is essentially a 4-hour finale with those 2 episodes.
And I'm going to do that for you, audience. I will be that guinea pig.
He's got to commit.
I keep forgetting
Stranger Things
he
in
hasn't
one
watched
go.
any of it.
It's going to
Fun
be
and
fantastic
fresh.
because you get to go back to the beginning and basically just watch these children grow up in a matter of like months.
You're gonna be mad at yourself. It's good. You're gonna be watching and be like, damn, I should have watched this already. It's so good.
Yeah, I know a lot of people think it's overhyped, but I think that's why they went so hard with this season, to show you that they still have a lot of love for this series and they plan on just going hard until the very end. So if you haven't seen it, definitely catch up on it. It's fantastic. This season deserves a good 9 out of 10 for me. Of course, they could have always ramped it up and done crazier stuff, but then the fans would have been upset. There is people of this podcast. You know how we feel about Stranger Things, and I'm gonna tell you there's some stuff in this season. It'll get you a little poopy pants mood. So you got to hold on to your seats. Kind of can't rule out that anybody's safe here, but it is fantastic. So that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed listening to me rant about Star Wars Stranger Things. Yeah, of course, you know what to do. You got the subscribe, you've got the bell, you've got the like, give us 5 stars on Spotify if you feel we deserve 5 stars now. If you feel we deserve less, that's okay. Tell us how you really feel. We won't hurt you for it. It's your opinion and you're entitled to that. So we're going to wrap this one up, guys. I've been Super Symbiote.
I'm Naboo, that's who.
And I am Fluff McGruff.
And of course, we'll see you next week. Until then, just have a good one.
Bye. Happy Memorial Day.
Bye. Have a good holiday. Now that's a W.A.K production.